Oh, hello everyone. I'm Farhad Mehta. This is a small lightning talk on a project that I'm doing with some students. This is a block-based programming language for functional programming. So, a little personal observation. It seems that the acceptance of Haskell and Agda as the programming language of choice for 5 to 10-year-olds is particularly low. So I don't have a citation for this, but this is from observing the friends of my children, yeah, in school, yeah. But this is true for functional programming in general, so it's relevant to all of us. Yeah, so what's the reason, yeah? Babies around the world are subjected to Scratch as the first sort of programming language, yeah? And yeah, as you know, Scratch is the name of this language and it's the name of this strange cat who's happy for no reason. Yeah. So, what's the solution to this? I propose that we do some early onboarding, yeah? And this is one attempt at this. Yeah? It's a little language called Lambda Lab. Yeah, I'm just going to demo it to you. This is all work in progress. I mean, I just made these slides yesterday, so in case there's a problem, just let me know. Good. This is joint work with a few students over sort of a longer period of time. So with Mona, Anya, Jan, and Lucas. Yeah, so let's have some observations. What's happening? So babies love shapes and colors. You know this. You have these toys all over the place. And I think that this is what Scratch really sort of got a hold on, right? So Scratch uses holes of different shapes to avoid inserting, for instance, a command that are these sorts of blocks where an expression is expected. So you have sort of this sort of Boolean expression, which is this diamond-like thing, and you have any other expression, which is like this oval-like thing, right? And so, but the type system is super rudimentary, right? You have commands, you have Booleans, and you have everything else. Yeah, so that's, and us as functional programmers, like type functional programmers, yeah, for FP, the type of an expression can be thought of as its shape, right? So we have a much richer sort of shape universe to play with, yeah? And we already use types and typed holes. This is not new, right? Agda, Haskell, and many other languages use this to guide development. The thing is that this is really deep in the IDE. You have a typed hole and you have to sort of play this dance with the compiler to give you all the stuff that you want and all that. But this is all there, right? So programming you use typed holes for unknown programs that are successfully refined, yeah? And in proving, you use typed holes for remaining subgoals that you sort of keep on sort of making into more subgoals until they're super trivial. Yeah? So how can we do this? So the idea behind this work is to make the mental visualization that an experienced functional programmer or a proof engineer / theorem prover, yeah, has in their heads. And we want to make this explicitly visible so that new people who come into this already have this sort of mental view of their program already there. Yeah? So this is what it sort of looks like. So we tried different things to visualize this, to see, okay, what sort of things can we carry forward? What would it look like? I mean, we can't have an infinite amount of shapes. So how do we sort of express this? So this is an early sort of pen and paper mock-up. And currently we're at this state where we have something like this, right? It's quite clear. I'm going to show you a little demo on how to use this because it's quite small now. Yeah. Let's hope this works. Yep, there. Is that big enough for everyone? Super. Okay. So I'm just going to delete this so we can do this increment. Let's delete the, yeah. How much time do I have? Oh, yeah, okay. So the hello world, 1 minute, okay. This is the hello world, right? My ID, so I do my ID because ID is already defined. Think of this like this. This is sort of your library that you can use. Yeah? In the case of proving, this would be your hypothesis that you can use. Your goal is here. I can create a new goal like this. I can say, for example, my ID 12 is of type A, arrow A, yeah? And I say, yep, accept it, and it's down there. And now I can play with this. For example, for my ID, I want it to be a lambda A.A, so I drag my lambda down there. It says, I can add it there. I have the A here, and I just say, okay. When I drag it, right, you notice this. When I start dragging it, it sort of says, I can put it there, right, because it's a plus, but I can't put it up here, yeah? So it does some sort of type unification in order to tell me where I can put it, so I can really put shapes into shapes that accept them. And so now I'm done. My ID is arrow A. What about something a bit more funny? So for example, factoidal, the second hello world example for functional programming. Okay, good. Yeah, so you see where I'm going there. But you can use this for other stuff like my sum using fold-out and all sorts of funny stuff. So I'm just gonna, this is how it works. You can try it out. It's work in progress, yeah? So what about further work? What do I want to do with this? So maybe next Lambda days will be, will be something that will happen. Supporting algebraic data types and pattern matching, allow the drag and drop for functional application as well. There's some type-related stuff that we still have to sort out. Explore the concept of type holes as well, not just term holes, but type holes. How does that work with us? Use the technique of type-based search for program synthesis, for those of you who had my talk yesterday. Improving usability, using more colors, obviously, yeah, and adding refactoring support for this little language. And of course, to choose an appropriate mascot, since Lambda Man was already taken, I propose something like this. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.